So let's actually go into some hands-on examples where I can show you the software. So first, I'd like to show you an example of stitching multiple tiles, right? So we have this nice sample of a mouse lung that was imaged at the CNIC in Madrid. This is the software. This is the user interface, and yeah, it's usually, so I already ran some tasks earlier, and if you want to process raw data, it's typically the easiest to start with the image viewer so that you can actually see the raw data you want to process. And then you just go to browse and to select the drive here. And find it, webinar data, genau, yeah. This is, let's start with the lung. And then you need to go into the directory where you see these this metadata, the images, select that. Yeah, and that's what it looks like. Let me maximize this, zoom in a bit. So this is this mouse lung. And yeah, this is the raw data. You can see here the different tiles, right? Each tile has one of these boxes around them. And you can actually already in the viewer do a stitching preview if you want to see them all in one plane. And in this view, you can move around the plane separately for each tile, and you can adjust the histogram and everything. Okay, and now we have this button here, right? So where we can just create a new task in the image processor that will use this image as input in the image processor. So if I click this, then it tells me that it made a new task number 4 in the image processor. And this is the default settings that it has made based on the image metadata, right? So since it's an LCS, it only has one camera. So the LCS only has one camera, right? And then the light sheet is here above the camera, right? And that's, so we have only one camera, so that's why camera fusion is switched off, and registration is switched off for multiple cameras, and it's automatically set to non-isotropic output in this case, because it makes most sense for just one view angle and one camera. And yeah, so we can here see now the inputs. So here you can check that the right inputs were selected. And if you want to select different ones, you can do that down here. So you can, for example, select the tiles that you want to use as input. And so here we have the different tabs in the order of the steps that the image processor performs, right? So we start with the input, then comes the registration, then the fusion, and finally the output. And here we have different registration settings. So we could set landmarks and then switch on landmarks registration, or reuse already done registrations from another task. Right, and here we can switch on registration between different objectives and cameras, and here these are the settings related to the tiles, right? So this is the settings regarding this this global optimization that I showed you before. And these are the fusion settings. So we switched on blending between tiles, and in the output tab, you can choose the sampling of the output, and you can switch compression on. You can give the task some descriptive name. So stitch full resolution, for example. And yeah, then you can press run, and this would then run and give you the stitched output. And since this takes about 10 minutes or so, I already did this beforehand. And now we have these two buttons here. So this is to look at the input images, and here you can open the stitched output images in the image viewer, right? And so this is what it what it looks like in the stitched output, and also in the output folder. So you have here so on this level, we have the raw images in the raw folder, right? And all the outputs of the different processing tasks, they go into separate folders here for each task. And if you go into these folders, we also have Imaris files to open them in Imaris, and we have Fiji Big Data Viewer files to open them in Big Data Viewer. And the nice thing is that these wrapper files, they all link to the same data, this .lux.h5 Luxendo image files. So there's no data duplication, right? And so when you open this in Imaris, then you get this nice 3D stitched lung, right? So that's what we wanted, to combine all the raw tiles together.